Properties. Oh, hey. Properties. Okay. I'm going to just do this and okay. Can you hear me now? Where are you? There we are. Okay. Are we good now? Do you hear everything? Because the mic wasn't on for some strange reason. Oh, yes.
Hello.
She was going to do an Ember's reading room intro apparently, but the mic wasn't working, so
Yeah, that was gonna be me stealthily going, I'm here, surprise! But it took us so long to actually get the mic going. Plenty of time for everyone to see my avatar.
okay, we have Sasami-chan. I don't know if we'll be getting, even though she knows a friend of ours may be popping in too.
I thought she had adulting.
Who knows? So Ember's going to be popping in and out. So, and apparently Velvet also says hi if you can't hear her. She might be filtered out by the AI.
Silly AI, never filter the cats.
Okay. So, as usual, hello everyone, and thank you for the outro for the intro, Sasami-chan. Um, the usual things. We're going to be continuing our work on the Kingdom Crusaders Clubhouse. I may not completely work on um, the roof today. I may do a little bit of work on the texture and then move on to actually building some model stuff. It really depends on how the texture feels today and how smoothly it goes. Um, okay, so I think that's everything. What we're working on, we're doing the usual schedule. We're going to be ending around noon, and well, noon specific standard time. Okay, so yeah, we will now be doing work on the Human Crusaders Clubhouse, the roof, and I will be working on railing. And kitties come to join us by the streaming device. And that was so weird. Why wasn't the mic working? Odds Bodkins.
Yeah.
Oh, and is the AI not working? Because I'm seeing noise in the stream, so easy fix. Open up the was not installed for the selected device.
Okay,
Okay.
I would pick you up and bring you closer to the mic, but you wouldn't be happy.
Okay, so that's interesting. Now I want to move the window.
Did you break all your settings?
It shouldn't have affected anything, but apparently the system. What did I just minimize? Oh, OBS. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that alone. There will be background noise because apparently something happened when I was doing some maintenance on a different machine where I had to unplug some stuff from this machine. The machine was like, oh no, you don't need those settings you had before. Nope. Kitty playtime. Okay, so I will now be working on the clubhouse, and I just moved the mic stand apparently, and that created a very loud noise in my ear. Okay, volume's still good, so yeah, we're good to actually start work now. Except Kitty's like, it's talk time.
Well, she and I can talk, you can work.
Yep.
So remember, I don't know how to use Blender.
Okay, I've got these things set up. Time to also open up Affinity Designer, because that's where I build the textures.
Well, how much texture do you need? It just looks like the flat of the roof needs to be a little darker to match your base image.
Well, the lines aren't in quite the right location.
They're pretty close. Just make sure you don't accidentally spell anything.
I think that may have actually been brought up at one point.
Probably. I'm normally at work during these.
Okay, texture loaded up. Let's move it here. Let's open up a new view. Excuse me. Okay. So you up to anything, Sami-chan? Other than watching this stream, of course.
Okay. We don't even know that they're doing that. They could just have their presence here and have moved on to something else.
Possible.
Not trying to call you out, promise.
Okay. Actually do that and use this. Let's see how that looks.
Oh, friendly unicorn?
A unicorn moved into my town. The house that used to belong to a snooty wolf. Thank you for keeping an eye on the jet. Okay, that was exported. Now let's go over to Blender. Go here and update that. And compare the two. Yeah, that feels about right for that distance. Okay. Back over here. I'll just squish that down. It's been too hot to do most things here.
Yeah, we were up to like 110 over the weekend. And where my dad is, it was like up to 114, I think, at the airport.
Yeah, it was very melty.
Yeah, we were doing some research into cooling vests. Not the ones that you get wet, but that have places for you to put ice packs in them. But it's like, it's a vest with pockets that you stick blue ice in. How do you get away with charging this much?
Okay. Yeah. And that's down. Okay. That looks about right for that. pretty much just gonna be a lot of like adjust, export, check what it looks like, check what it looks like in Blender.
Well, the last time I was in a stream, you were working on the table in the interior, so this is at least different to me.
Yep. And also hit save.
Yeah, kind of important.
Yep. Because Blender has crashed plenty of times on the stream. Okay.
Well, that's not very nice of it.
Yeah, I know.
I guess this would be the advantage of my craft kits being physical objects.
Yeah. Though I've done that with like the thinking about like working on physical stuff again and being so used to working on a computer. There have been times where I've been sketching something out and going, I should stop and hit the save button. Wait a minute. I'm drawing something in the real world.
Yeah, the autosave is fantastic. The undo kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, undo in the virtual world. Okay. I'm not trying to get perfect. I'm just trying to make sure. Let's see. I think this line's okay. Things come up in real life. If you have questions, use @ followed by my name. I'll answer them when I'm back.
Good luck with IRL stuff. We'll hold the fort down here.
Yep. Which would just be me sitting on top of it. I'm holding it down.
That's what cats are for. That's how the earth doesn't float away. Cats hold it down.
Okay. Dee. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why the mic thing happened.
I don't know. And I think it looks pretty close, but if you're being really nitpicky, this upper line here looks like it has more distance there than it does here.
Thank you. I was actually going to move on to that next. Because I was just trying to get these vertical, or mostly vertical lines to be good because they give me a reference point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at like, okay, how far over is this line here? How much further does this line need to move to the left? Because I think it definitely does, because this here is definitely too long. But I think this right here is pretty close. It's close enough to be happy with. So that means these lines here need to adjust a little bit. So it needs to go further up and be further apart. Your thoughts?
Makes sense, because that does look a little wider. Sasami-chan put Velvet in charge of pizza orders.
Well, if she has the same taste as you, we'll be okay.
Yeah, but she can't have any. She's on prescription food. So she has to decide that her caretakers deserve pizza.
Okay, so I just need to thicken these two lines and put them further apart, because I think this line right here, the one closest to the edge, is actually in a good spot.
It just looks a tiny bit straight compared to the other one. The other one has a little more variance. See, just slightly out there near the base, and that there's almost more ribbon, like it's almost like you have a tiny bit too much of a curve there in the bottom piece.
This piece here? Or
if you're being ultra nitpicky, yes.
Okay, so those need to be thicker. So why don't we put this up to 50? And for that, I'm gonna go wider than I think it should be.
Okay, why go wider than you think it should be?
Because that's actually usually where it actually should be.
Okay.
Also, moving it back is just as easy. Okay.
You don't have to turn towards me to talk to me.
It's a habit. Okay. And there's that and that. So also these need to be a little bit more curvy. So grab this. Highlight both of those so I can see the curve parts. Okay, that top part is actually going to go that way, so that means I need another point here and bring this back this way. Actually, this one goes slightly that way at the bottom, so I'm going to pull that one further. Okay. Do. Grab and pull. Okay, that one is going to be slightly curved at the top, not a lot, and it's going to be straight down there, so I'm going to need a thing here. Gonna pull that out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna give that a shot. Let's see what that looks like.
Well, are you just checking the changes in the line? Oh, wow, at a distance it doesn't look as far off, because up close it was looking like the base of the line was getting really off-center. Oh, yeah, I guess now it's changed. Yeah, see, the base is the bottom of the line where it's hitting compared to where it hits here. When you moved it out, you took it out of how it was hitting the line along the bottom, and then up here you have this blue line over it, but this cross piece on the section you were just working on is actually attached or touching to the left hand side and loose on the right hand side, which is the exact opposite of what you have.
Oh, hey, Mrs. K.
Hi, Mrs. K.
Okay. Well, I moved those lines after. I guess I'm using these vertical lines as references. So once I get them as close to I feel their placement being, then I keep doing that turn back thing. Let's see. As I get them to where I think they should be, and then I adjust the other lines to fit. Okay, so I still need to pull these lines. Yeah, she waves.
Yep, I saw.
I still need to pull these lines closer to the top edge here. So.
It's so different this time. She has to type and I get to talk. Where normally when I'm watching with you on stream, I'm having to steal the device, put my name first to indicate that it's me talking on your account, and then type something. Or sometimes just type something. Basically, anytime Lux's texts look concise, it was probably me typing and I just didn't take time to say my name.
seems good where it is. Just need to gamma. Almost there you go. Do that a little bit and let's pull this up. Same with this one, pull up. Okay. And I will move this one back over a little bit. There we go, let's go with that. That looks good. Save.
I was checking where Kitty ended up. She was very vocal at the beginning of the stream. I'm not sure if the mic picked her up or not.
Yes, Velvet Kitty was in the stream. Also a Void Kitty. Okay, export. Okay, yeah. Go back to Blender and check. Okay, and update image. Okay.
Yes, Void Kitty is best kitty. We actually ran into a local feral void when we were out walking this morning. Oh, yeah, that's Kitty. Kitties break things.
How did the kitty break the scale?
Probably knocked it off the table. I'm assuming kitchen or postal scale, but I'm not sure if it was a way human scale.
Actually, this needs to be yes. Zoom in. This actually needs to be more that way, so there I'm feeling.
Or we could be totally off and Void Kitty broke a dragon scale.
Weight scale, as in person scale, I think. I started.
Awesome! Congrats!
Yeah, I remember hearing about the lettuce wraps that were very tasty.
Yes.
Okay. And there's me forgetting where the blender button was. Okay, I think that's much closer now. That gap there. So the lines could be a little bit thicker. Okay, but I'm not going for absolute, I'm going for close enough for really nice recognition, so I just need to adjust the scale of this one here and tweak this a little bit. Whoa!
So it at the very least got out of calibration.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's why I'm so careful with ours, because if we turn it on the side too much, it can lose calibration.
I wonder if there's a calibration button.
It's mainly just resetting it. This case, ours is a digital one from Tanita. It also does the BMI stuff. Yeah.
That would do it.
That would definitely do it. Pounce, pounce, pounce.
This is an evil thing. It makes the mistress unhappy.
Must hit it.
Okay, here.
Then a toy. Oh, wow. I think ours is too low for a toy to go under, but she could definitely get her paw under it.
Okay.
That would do it. That would definitely do it. I also don't keep ours in the bathroom, and I actually have it under a bookshelf.
Hmm.
Lift it to get at the toy. Oh my goodness, strong void kitty.
Yeah, but probably not very careful at putting the poor thing back down.
No, no, because once you get the toy out, you just let it drop back down, because the scale was just in the way.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's in a good position right there. Okay. Let me go back up here.
Then it,
This is a very talented void kitty.
yeah, so apparently they managed to get as much stuff stuck under the scale as the typical kitty gets stuck under a couch.
And I'm like, oh.
That would be how.
Yep. Okay. Hello, unexpected helicopter.
Sounds really low.
Yeah. It's a glass Weight Watchers one.
Oh, I think I've seen those in the store.
Okay, grab that and move that because that touches, and this also touches here. I might actually be done with this texture today after a little bit of tweaking here. So I just cleaned the room, moved it someplace else, and tried it. Works fine.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good. And now we know the scale has to be kitty proofed.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I keep mine under, well, it's not really a bookcase, it's one of those metal adjustable shelving units like people put out in their garages, but it's where I have most of my books. I have them in small plastic containers, and then I put labels on the outside of what series it is, because I can fit more stacking books inside a box than I can fitting books on a bookshelf.
Oh. Excuse
Excuse
me. Okay.
The main problem with what we do is it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's like, oh yeah, when was the last time we weighed in?
Yeah.
Oops.
Okay. Got that. Let's move to my other reference. Mine's in the kitchen, because tiny bathroom.
Yeah, we're opposite. We have tiny kitchen, but actually relatively large bathroom for an apartment.
Actually, that needs to be a little bit smoother here, because this is a bit too wavy.
And a lot of the scales actually say that they're sensitive to excessive moisture. I'm like, but that's what bathrooms have. You know, shower, sink.
Mm-hmm. Lots of things that generate, I don't know, moisture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess it's time to test out these modifications.
Ah, nice. We basically have a tiny little rectangle of a kitchen, and then outside of there, there's kind of a nook that's carpeted, so that's where we put a very small dining table.
Ah. Okay. Yep, I hit the refresh. Okay.
When I first moved here, it was actually a card table.
Okay. I think I'm just going to make some of the lines a little bit, because these are thick enough. That peak could be moved around a little bit, but the bottom lines here are thick enough, but these lines up here could be a little bit thicker. Then I think I'll actually be done with this texture.
Yay!
Okay. let's make these 50. Okay, that looks good. Save.
Yeah, pretty much runs together because there's a slight, tiny partial wall on the side of the fridge leading out of the kitchen, but then you transition from tile to carpet. So there's a nice diagonal that cuts off the kitchen going from tile to carpet, and then everything else is carpet everywhere until you get to the bathroom, and then it's tile again.
Also, I like the description. Like, if Mr. K stands in our kitchen, does a T-pose. Because I can just see Mr. K doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's close enough. Yeah, that will work. So, treehouse roof, I now declare it done.
Yay, hit save.
Thank you. Okay. Well, it's done texture-wise, because once I actually start modeling the tree, there's going to be part of a tree up here, which I have no idea. Like, it's just sitting on top of the treehouse itself, because inside you can't see any signs of that this tree has gone through the building at all.
I know. Maybe it's just a tree randomly growing out of the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wood that they used was actually still partially alive, so part of a tree was growing out of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. Now this gives us a better reference because, as usual, the MLP background artists were not the most consistent. I get why, but like this porch here, you can see how it nicely stretches out and fits all these areas. But then you go back to the other reference I had, and the porch is now squished in. It's not matching where it was, because this used to match the bottom here.
Well, the Cutie Mark Crusaders could have made some improvements over time. Also, I would think the idea of designing this would be the same idea as doing a cosplay. You pick the keynotes that make things recognizable to fan base, audience, etc., and focus on those. Because you drill down a lot into detail work.
Yeah, I drilled down so much that I found out that this gray dot is not a nail in this plank. This gray dot is actually supposed to be this nail right here. So this belongs here. Also, I'm surprised I could do such nice circles with a mouse. Okay, now back to that reference images, because I am going to be working on building the porch itself, actually. Well, specifically this upper part with all the posts.
So Sami-chan's gonna be surprised if he gets back.
Yeah. Okay, so... Whoop. That's okay.
Yeah, just show it off.
You know, because I'm going to be working on this porch area here anyways.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, I assumed that the porch actually wraps around like this, but it could just stop right here. Because you can't actually see past to see if it goes around.
Yeah, we don't really know that there is a back deck, because we know there's not a back door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So maybe just start with shorter, because going around behind, okay, not necessarily visible, except that this is a 3D model and people can turn it around like you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Have Have you been finding time to write, Mrs. K?
Okay. There we go. So that's the length I need for that. Okay. I can actually go out of edit mode of this. Okay, that's what was like. I suddenly can't remember how to do this thing. Okay. I actually have to bring up the shortcut manager for my device so I can actually, like, I don't always remember all the key combinations because I'm usually only using a certain set of keys. So I know what those are. Okay. There we go. Okay. Add a cube. And the cube is inside the building. So let's grab it and pull it outside. And I wonder... That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Let me actually change this to wireframe. Type in here. She might have.
She might not want to answer.
Okay.
Okay, I glanced down for 1 second. All of those lines are still the clubhouse.
All these? Yep. Because I turned into wireframe mode so I could more clearly see certain things. I also did switch to top-down mode so I could zoom in and do that, and I just realized I should move over to a different mode that allows me to see more things at once. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Should change that over to material view. Okay, zoom in here. Move this over to here. And selected to selected to grid.
So will you be resizing this one cube down into the first fence post and then copying it and making adjustments?
Yeah, that's the general idea.
Well, it's a big cube. I wasn't sure if you were going to stretch it out and, like, carve it.
Ah. Nope, that's just the size of what they call the default cube. Okay, because then I can yank. But I'm just going to do this and then scale it down. Okay. Now, where are we? That.
You have a little soundtrack going there?
Yeah. Mostly just me thinking and making sounds as I think.
Yeah, my brain's kind of back to addicted because I'm wearing my shirt with Angel and Cherry.
Ah. Good choice in insert. Good choice in shirts. My mouth was doing all sorts of weird stuff. Okay. And highlight that. And Sasami-chan's back. Someone else came in. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we weren't totally lonely, and the cat said we couldn't have any pizza because she has prescription food, and if she can't have any, we can't have any.
Okay. Yeah, it's about the right height. And technically it's in art position too, but the camera angle is a little different compared to the way it is in the show, because the show has a tendency to kind of flatten things a little bit.
Well, rendering and speed and budget and timeline.
Mm-hmm. But it does need to be a bit skinnier here.
Just a little. That still looks pretty big. That looks big enough that I could set a lantern on top of it.
Okay.
Not sure about shorter or not. It's probably about right height-wise, looking at the lines you have.
Yeah, because here's the bottom of the heart, and the bottom of the heart comes over to about here.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the bottom of the heart that goes up to here. It could technically be a little taller, but I'm going to go with a little shorter.
Yeah.
Actually, we can move it up just a little bit here. There we go. Now, bottom is a little bit skinnier, so we're going to shrink that down a little bit here. And I think it actually is a little skinnier in the center too, so what I'm going to do is change over to this, select all those lines, and remember the subdivide shortcut. Which I actually don't remember, so I'm going to try to find the menu.
That's alright. We'll just talk amongst ourselves. I'm sure Lux handled introductions in a prior stream, but the person who joined us, Sasami-chan, is a streamer over on Twitch, and they do point-and-click games. Very entertaining to watch.
Okay. I think the base here could actually probably be a little bit smaller. Yeah. Okay. So looking at it, it could be just the angle, but I think this edge is actually really straight compared to this edge, which is curved.
Yeah, the line, the downward line closer to the wood knot or nail looks very straight to me from that angle.
Mm-hmm. So that's an easy fix. Just gotta, maybe an easy fix, but I gotta figure out how to do it so it won't end up being hard. Okay, I have the bottom selected, the middle. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a bit of account fatigue too. I usually just watch on Lux's account when he's around. He goes, "Hey, so and so streaming." I go, "Oh, we have a few minutes," and then we get engrossed in it. And how did it get so late?
Yeah, that happens. Okay, that should be the. Yep. Yep. Okay.
People thought I was weird in the 80s, anyways.
Come to think of it, websites have weird names. If we traveled back to the 80s and talked like this, people would think we were weird. In the 80s?
Well, you have to remember that's before internet was prevalent. I mean, when I was in like fourth, fifth grade, there was a green screen all in one Apple Mac computer. Just one in the entire classroom.
Ah, yes. I remember those days.
Yes, and gigantic floppy disks. They were like 8 inches just to be able to play Gauntlet.
I don't think I've actually ever played Gauntlet. If I did, I don't remember what it actually looks like. Okay, so that feels better. So we have the nice curve here, we have a straight line here, and a straight line here. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, hey, the real life piece of wood wouldn't be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, question for you. Lux, did you ever master the turtle?
Did I ever master the turtle? I'm not quite sure what he's referencing to.
Yeah, I'm like, I need a little context, if you could, please.
Okay. Need to actually grab this and rotate it slightly. Ah, and I hit the mic again. Okay. So that looks good. It's got the curve there. I need to move the whole thing closer to the edge, so out of edit mode.
Turtle graphics is a popular way for introducing programming to kids. It was part of the original logo programming language.
Ah, no! I never actually even encountered programming languages when I was younger. Well, at least not in any way that I could remember. I think the closest when I was younger was HTML and CSS, which I didn't really like start to master, well, study until much later when I was starting to learn it on my own.
Yeah, and I just did some early DOS programming.
Okay. Yeah, that actually could be a little closer to the edge.
And then, of course, I spent all that time in my computer class doing DOS programming. And the very next year, they upgraded the entire computer lab to new computers that were way better and Windows, not DOS operated.
Hmm.
And suddenly everyone was playing Oregon Trail instead of Gauntlet.
Hmm. Okay. Playing around a little bit. It looks like this is actually this to match what it looks like up here. The piece of wood itself actually has to be outside of the thing here. Let me.
Yeah, because if you look right here, it looks like the base of the porch comes out a little further than the piece of wood itself.
Yeah. So if you look at this, it's actually still in the piece of wood in this image here. If I highlight it in the top-down view, it actually says the wood is outside. Oh, that's the top of the. That's the top of the wood. That's how I'm seeing that. The curve comes out over. Okay. Huh.
But yeah, typing commands. That was like programming and drawing in DOS. So I remember I was trying to do a field of grass with a horse in it,
Ah.
and by the time we stopped, I was only like up to the hooves.
Hmm.
I had all the grass done. That was all rendered because I went layer by layer, bottom to top.
Okay. So that's close on that. But looking at this reference image, the port should actually have a gap between the door and the staircase here. So that's an easy fix.
Is it a necessary fix?
Well, it would make this pole more match with the image here.
Okay.
So what I can do is grab the pole here, and let's see, which axis is that? That would be the x-axis. And I'm actually going to move this back until here. I can click on this. Wow, that's a big gap. Because here's the pole and here's the step.
Yeah, that doesn't look very safe.
So I'm just going to add a little bit of a gap. Okay. So let's go with that. And grab this, bring it back. I think that's close enough. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Okay. So that's set. Oh, stretch. Okay. So we got that. Let's see, how many do we have? We have 3. Okay. It's Shift D for duplicate. D, 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 D.
Would have been better to do that before we completely tweaked the board to be specifically like the one board, because each board is a little different.
Yeah, and having control points makes it so I can adjust it to match all of those, because none of them are drastically different. Thank you for asking, though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I still have to scale them down just a little bit.
But right now you're just kind of placing.
Yep.
And 3 more along the side, and I think that answers your question a little bit, because that would be a post along the back of whether it really wraps around much.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I might have to make the porch longer. Okay.
Maybe, maybe not. If you rotated the house a little bit, that would change where you were viewing how the post intersects with the window.
That actually feels about right for that one, especially since they're going to be leaning a different direction once I'm done. Just put that one right on the edge. Yeah, that's going to work, right? And we need one more. Right about there. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I just need to, like, do the tweaking to make them feel right. But that's good. And I'm going to start with this one. Oh, excuse me. Actually, I can also select all of them at once and just scale them down. Let's see, that's everything, right? Yep. And individual origins. And look here. And let's see. So I know what I'll do is I'll just shrink them all down like so, and then scale them again, and there. Okay. And if we zoom out from here, and go into edit mode and select all the top parts, I can make it just a little bit shorter.
Yeah, because pretty much none of them come up to the middle of the shutters.
But wait a minute. I just realized something. Perspective and consistency yet again. Because with perspective, all of them would be going downhill, but since all of their tops match, they're actually progressively getting shorter as they come towards the camera. Ouch.
Oh, Kitty, you owe Mrs. K a new scale.
Okay, so actually I'm going to have to adjust all of these individually, because this is at the right height, but this needs to actually match that height perspective-wise, which means it's much shorter than it appears to be. That's cute. Okay, so we grab, and after I find a particular button, so we grab that, and actually go to move it. I believe it's, nope. There's the one I was looking for. Move it down until it matches. Grab the matches. That is really kind of interesting, because they are actually all at about the same height. Actually, that's about okay. I'm just gonna move it down just a tweak, just a tweak.
Hypothetical. If you were building the Disney World castle, would you build it to scale for a real castle or to scale for how the parks actually build it?
If I were to build a, if I were building a Disney
The Disney World castle.
castle,
So not Sleeping Beauty Castle because that's Disneyland. Disney World, I believe, was Snow White's castle. I might have that flipped. It's been a while. I would think it would be more recognizable to build it to the park scale as opposed to a realistic scale. They, as in Disney, have actually made realistic castle figurines of the park castles.
Okay, that one's actually just a tiny bit shorter than that one. This is a real funny one because this one actually is slightly taller than that one.
Even though it's further away.
Mm-hmm. So looking at it a real 3D view, you've got going down about the same, going up in the... Wow. It's kind of neat. That reminds me of how people have taken shots of from video games that use perspective tricks to more match what anime looks like, and you move the camera outside of the camera that's the scene's locked to, and you see this giant fist to make it look more accurately. And if I was to build something like that, and if you're talking about inside the computer, I'd probably, let's see, I would probably build it to the scale of how the parks have it, because that's the scale people would have in their head of how big it would be. Okay, so we're just past noon, so we should probably start wrapping up now, and this is actually a pretty good place to stop. Whoops.
Reminder from Sasami-chan, the castles in all the parks use forced perspective, so if you build any of them in Blender, you have to remember that they are not in scale to the tune. Which makes sense because Disney is all about projecting an experience and generating a feeling. That's why Main Street looks the way it does. That's why a lot of things are the way they were, because one of the things when he was originally talking about it with his wife is she's like, well, all parks like this are dirty, and he's like, mine won't be. The first time I went to Disneyland, sorry, haven't been to Disney World. We had a early entry pass. This is way back when Disneyland was actually a reasonably priced vacation if you weren't, in poverty. But we went in before it was officially opened, and we got breakfast as part of it, and I was trying to feed the sparrows, and the staff was sweeping up the area so quickly the sparrows didn't have a chance.
So, yep, I put in a reference line for later to really get how these feel and how straight they actually are.
Yeah, because it's interesting right here because your corner post at the angle on the reference that you're using lines up with the middle of the window, but it's currently barely touching the shutter.
Yeah, it's because I would need to rotate this a bit more to get it to more match up, and I can do some tweakings to get that to more match, but like every time I rotate the camera a little bit, something else in the image slides out of perspective, as it were.
Because the reference images were not designed with this in mind.
Nope.
I wonder if you went out and purchased like a Cutie Mark Crusader Clubhouse toy, because that would be a 3D model.
Yeah, but they also don't build those to match the show. They build those to be convenient to play in.
Yes, but it could still theoretically be canon because it's manufactured by the parent company.
Hmm. I believe Sasami-chan actually brought up something like that once before. Okay, so yeah, we're now doing the outro because it's just past noon. That's when I usually try to wrap things up. Thank you for stopping by, Ember. Thank you for stopping by, Mrs. K and Sasami-chan. And thank you to all who stopped by later on the video on demand version of this. Hope you enjoyed. And all the usual stuff here that Sasami-chan actually put at the beginning of the video. So we have Patreon, we have coffee. Coffee is a one-time donation. There's also the coffee store, which I have on there, where you can buy digital versions, higher quality versions of some digital images that I have put up before. Patreon is a monthly thing. You get perks like you get to see. Give me a second here. You get to see more information about this project on there. Usually a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I believe, is the current schedule beforehand. And you also get images that I would post online, like other drawn images, about 3 weeks early. And as usual, please like, subscribe, comment down below, watch other videos. We have the Ember's Reading Room series, which is great. We have our Thoughts On series, which is our review slash random ramblings about stuff pop culture wise we enjoy. Let's see. Did I get everything, Ember?
Yeah, so also mention that links include links to more of your artwork and social media. I do also have a coffee, but it's a supporter account, so if you want to check out the craft projects that I work on, you can see those there.
Okay. Well, I believe that's everything. I'm gonna read Sasami-chan's little comments as we were doing our outro here. A lot of play sets are not show accurate. You have to buy toys made for collectors.
Yeah, so we would have to go out and find a high-end Cutie Mark Crusaders clubhouse. Probably done by the same people who made that really nice Sunset Shimmer figurine.
Probably. Okay, and I believe that's everything for today. Thank you for stopping by, whether it was live or on demand. And I hope you all have a great time wherever you are. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye.
Okay, now you're just straight up stealing from Jamie. Much love. Bye.
Well, I've been doing that for a while.